So this world we live in, the narcissistic personality type really is not identified. And we don't know what they're like. We don't know what the experience of them is. We don't have any idea what they are until we actually are recovering from one. And when you're actually in that place of recovering from a narcissistic relationship, it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I went through that. That was life. That was my life with that person. Constant struggle, daily arguments over nothing, not knowing when that person would be home, when they would be home, what time they would be home, what state of mind they would be home, what state of inebriation they would be home. It was insane. It was crazy making. And then meanwhile, he lied to you. And it was just such a reflection to me that my childhood was so misinformed, and I had to recreate that hell in order to sink to the very bottom, in order to be able to go, wow, I know there's light. I know there's something more than this. But there's myself. Receiving the gifts from the hardships. Curiosity is what got Pandora. And she opened that box. I think that's the lesson, folks. I think it's not about thinking women are evil. I think it's evil to let your curiosity get the best of you, no matter what your sex is. And what did I do? I had to keep opening that stupid box named urn, like a funeral urn. Fuck off, urn. And your little dog, too. Well, actually, his pussy. He has 2 pussy cats. Apparently, he had a third one. I'm serious. He had a real pussy cat, meaning meow, meow. And another one, meaning meow, meow. And then the third one, he tells me about 4 days after he says he wants to meet me. And I'm like, okay, not a problem. Not a problem at all. But you're a liar. He's a liar. 4 days after you spend that much time on a woman? What an asshole. So that's what I'm telling you. It was all a sales pitch. Because he sends me this email that says something, not an email, but a text message. And he goes, it's one of those long oval ones that show his intelligence and he's thinking. And the first part, he has a compliment, but he makes it short, almost like I was interviewing for a job, which I was, meaning catering after his ego, which I would have turned down anyway. Ooh la la, girls. So this is what he probably had planned, because the next sentence was like, I'm a good guy and I just recently met a woman and I want to see where it goes, or something. I deleted it. I don't have the evidence. I admit it. But it was like, the words were such, girls, that his whole, I haven't met anybody of interest. I'm not really seeing anybody. Nobody's really done it for me, he offers. 4 days later? So it's not personal. You see how these guys are? This would be his bet, that I would be waiting for my turn. Woo! I'm not gonna wait for my turn, motherfucker. Woo! I'm gonna take my beautiful body, my life, my vitality elsewhere, because it wasn't gonna be offered to you in the first place. I was dreading hearing from him. I was dreading it. I was like, I slept on it. I realized I had just talked to a pharmaceutical guy. I felt really slimy and gross. I felt so disgusting. I was like, oh my God. And then I started thinking about what he came in contact with, and the doctors and the belief systems. And I thought about, oh my goodness, what he probably put into his body to keep that job with pharma. Yeah. So I'm going, I don't even want his breath on me. Let alone, you know what? And then lastly, I'm not even going to think about that. That's disgusting. So do not even go there. It is gross. But you know what? This thought crossed my mind. He was bald, which meant he had a lot of testosterone, which is why I knew he was a liar. And he had a stupid laugh. A stupid laugh. Gets it every time. Okay, so these are my rules of engagement. Ladies, if he has a laugh that you feel like it's like not authentic and it's stupid, that's clue number one. Okay, this is when you're talking to him. I don't know what he's like out in public, but this is when you observe him, because when you're dating, that's when you're most vulnerable, okay? If you haven't seen him in the context of a group, you know, dating is a different world. So, if he laughs and you can't stand it, that's a clue. The next one would be when he kisses you. If he sticks his tongue in right away, no. If he bites your lip, absolutely not. No. If he wants to kiss you, pull you up with a small of your back, and then say, I think we should go have sex, absolutely not. He's the worst. He's the worst kind. The worst. So kissing is how you differentiate, but not how you make the big decision. Because if and only if they can kiss you and then go away and then come back for another kiss and take you out and then you kiss some more and then that goes on for a while, I would say a good 13 dates would work, at least. Then you can decide whether or not that's going to happen. But it's not about repeat, make it fast. No. It's about 13 times in which you felt divinely touched by them through observation of how they interacted with the world around them. Not how well they did something, but how well they expressed their divinity through their acts, through their actions, through their beauty, through their grace, through their masculinity. You know? And then ultimately, yeah, the way they, connect. Hope you're enjoying life. I am. Somebody said, hey, did you know you're funny? And I said, no, I didn't. But no, I kind of like the idea. They said on YouTube, you to be that crazy aunt I want to talk to at the party. Yeah, I hope to be that person. Why don't you guys make me that person? I would love to talk to you guys. But, don't make it all about that. What I'm saying is, young Jen has to get with the older Jen to find out what's really real. And our society is sort of like a social engineering, tavern stock on all that jazz. There's a cat. Look into, anyone who's new at this, to social engineering. But rather than going down all of those little diversions, I suggest you instead go outside, connect to nature, connect to the sun. You know what? Truthfully, a little bit of both needs to happen. Like, what am I saying? You have to have a certain amount of wake up. You have to have a certain amount of understanding, not understanding. And you don't have to. It's, how do I say this? Everybody's at a different place. And this information I'm giving to you is not meant to create a confrontation. Indeed, no. Instead, we as humanity are at a place that is of our own making. Our own making is not to be of the taking, but it has been of the taking for others who have their own interests in mind. So many people now are waking up to this. We all see race is but a design meant to provide us with the separation from the preparation of our souls to together rise. And the idea is to rise together, to rise together. We are, in spirit, one. However, I beg to differ. I see something that I will not suffer those fools once gladly. One, no more. Fools no more. Am I to that? I say no. And that is that. I'm reporting in because I asked a friend of mine that's a guy that's on a dating app. I said, hey, what do you think about this guy who I spoke with on one day, Sunday? And 4 days later, he tells me after he established he's not dating anybody, no one's piqued his interests. I go, what do you think of this guy? 4 days later, he connects by way of a text message. He elongates the bubble so that the first thought is a sentence about, I'm a decent person, meaning me. Something like he's glad he talked to me or something. And then the space, like with no words, but within the same bubble. So it's one long oval, which is like, hey, I'm a thinker. I don't want to inundate you with like one-sided, I would have preferred bullets because it felt such bullshit. And then his last sentence is, I'm seeing a woman or I met a woman. I deleted it. Otherwise I would have it, so I don't have the proof. But it doesn't matter. It was like, he said implicitly and explicitly both. I'm seeing a woman and I want to see, he didn't use the word connected. It's like, I'm seeing a woman and I want to know how it goes. So see ya? But no, none of that. It was open-ended. And that's when my guy friend said what I said, which was, if you really did not want to see that person ever again, if they were really like, you just would never, ever communicate again. So he goes, you're right. It sounds like he's that type of guy that wants to have one always waiting in the wings. So there, a guy tells me. So girls, if a guy actually does that to you, don't take your deli ticket and wait in line for that piece of meat. He's spoiled. Doesn't he smell bad? Can't you smell it? How insincere that is? So my friend, who's a guy, is like, yeah. I mean, this guy's a looker. He's had no problem having dates, being married, having kids. He's living his life. He's doing his thing. He's honest with me. So he goes, yeah. If I didn't want anything to do with you, I would not even have talked to you. I would never even have communicated. I would have been like, well, if she calls me or connects or sends a message, because we had exchanged cell phones, then I'll reply with whatever is my honest answer. But he goes, oh yeah, if I didn't want to have anything to do with you, I would not even bother to tell you that you are a decent person, but I've met a woman and I want to see how it goes. 4 days after, he informs me that he hasn't made a commitment. So I'm thinking, yeah, guys must really be that stupid to think that we're that stupid. Or girls must be really desperate to fall for that and stand in line like they're waiting for a piece of meat at the deli counter for their number to be called. Do you catch me? Do you feel me? So that's what I'm telling you, girls. And I don't know if guys, that this works for you too in the dating world, but that's what it's telling me. And that's what it told me. So I'm learning I'm becoming street smart. I was dreading hearing from him. I was dreading it. I was like, I slept on it. I realized I had just talked to a pharmaceutical guy. I felt really slimy and gross. I felt so disgusting. I was like, oh my God. And then I started thinking about what he came in contact with and the doctors and the belief systems. And I thought about, oh my goodness, what he probably put into his body to keep that job with pharma. Yeah. So I'm going, I don't even want his breath on me.